Afternoon, everyone, and welcome back for our first virtual assembly since you've all returned to school following the recent lockdown. It's been brilliant this week to welcome all year groups and all students back into our corridors, our playgrounds, and our classrooms. And I know that as the staff here at King Henry School, I can say that we've all been looking forward to this moment. So welcome back and well done, because after 10 weeks away, even getting used to that early morning alarm going off, having to get out of bed, having to put on your uniform, having to get to school on time would have been a challenge to get back into the habit of doing. So well done. It's been brilliant to see you all back this week, and we look forward to a successful couple of weeks before the Easter break, where hopefully things will then begin to return to normal. Today's assembly is just some key reminders as we do get ourselves back into the routine of school. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Hopefully it will appear any moment now. And if you can see my screen, you'll see that there are a number of key features that I talked about in my last virtual assembly, which was during lockdown, that you may have seen. It was sent to all students. And there are a number of things that we're having to really work hard on at the moment. Number one is everyone coming back to school and just getting back into the structure and the routines of school. The second one is the ongoing testing of students for COVID-19. And the third one, particularly for students in year 11 and 13, is in terms of exam grades this year, because summer exams for those year groups have been cancelled. And I just wanted to update you a little bit about what this is looking like. So in terms of the testing, round one testing for all students has been completed, and we're actually into round two testing, which began on Thursday. Over 2,000 student tests would have been completed within the week by our school. That is an incredible effort. And if you've had a test in the main hall, you will know the system that's in place, how much work would have gone into that system, and how hard staff are working to make sure that students are tested on time and as quickly as possible, and that we make this school really safe through that testing. You may remember that all schools have to offer students 3 different tests in school. We call it round 1, round 2, and round 3. And then after that, you'll be given home tests to do at home. We are now, as I say, around halfway through our round 2 testing. So in another week and a half, we will finish the ongoing mass testing of students on the school site, and you will then begin to get your home testing kits to take home with you. Also, we have obviously got all year groups back now, so a big welcome back once again to everyone. A reminder that students in years 7, 8 and 9 have new timetables and classes, as we've kept you bubbled into your form groups, particularly to help with the testing, but also just to be cautious as we come out of lockdown in terms of COVID. Outdoor sports clubs are up and running again. I know some of you were in football training on Thursday afternoon, and that schedule has been shared now by the PE department. Just a couple of things about the start and the end of the school day. So a reminder that in the mornings, the gate opens at 8:20. It doesn't open before. So if you're arriving on Avenue Road before 8:20, you will have to wait on the road. So try to arrive afterwards when you know the gate's going to be open, when you can come onto the school site. A reminder that for year 7, 8 and 9, you go into tutor time at 8:45. And for Key Stage 4, you go into lessons period 1. At the end of the day, Key Stage 3 continue to leave at 2:30. Key Stage 4 and 5, years 10 through to 13, leave at 3:20. And at the end of the day, a reminder that for Key Stage 3, both of the Avenue Road gates are open. And that's to try and ease congestion, because when year 7, 8 and 9 all leave site, that's quite a lot of students going out the main student entrance gate. So on the map here, you can see the orange circle is the main Avenue Road gate. And up here, the second Avenue Road gate will be open as well at 2:30 for students in year 7, 8 and 9. And that means that if you have your final lesson of the day in Windsor or in Stuart, so in science or in maths or in MFL, you can leave around the back of the new hall and then go out of that gate, rather than having to come through the school and go out the main student exit there. For Key Stage 4 and 5, because it's smaller numbers of students, we would encourage you to continue to use the main student exit. A reminder about wet lunch arrangements, because with the main hall and the gym being used for COVID testing, we've had to change this slightly. If there is wet lunch that is called, then Year 7 would go into the canteen, Year 8 into the new hall, Year 9 into the sports hall. Key Stage 4, because it's just 2 year groups, Year 10 into the new hall, Year 11 into the canteen. Sixth form would be over in the sixth form block. So if there is wet lunch called, that is where you can go if you want to get some shelter, if you want to stay inside. Obviously, all students can use the canteen to get food as well. You'll know it's a wet lunch because there'll be a tannoy message that you'll hear, and teachers will be emailed at the start if it is raining heavily. If we call a lunch during a lunch period, so it's not raining at the start, but it starts to rain, then we'll do a tannoy message as well. Face masks, thank you to everyone, because we have had over 95% of students arriving at school with a face mask this week. So thank you to all of you for supporting that. As you all know, we strongly encourage students to wear face masks in the school buildings, in corridors and in classrooms, in line with government guidance. And you would have seen the assembly earlier this week from Miss Powell, where she spoke about the importance and the effectiveness of wearing a face mask and how you can keep yourself and others safe. You would have heard the message that plays at the end of each bell around face mask reminders, and just making sure you're looking out for each other, you're looking after each other and wearing those masks whenever you can. As we come back, though, I also want to talk to you about our ongoing improvement plans and our vision to be extraordinary here at King Henry School. So you'll know that we've used this Be Extraordinary vision all throughout the year. Despite the challenges of COVID and lockdown, we have stuck true to it. And there are so many improvements taking place across the school that I think we all just need to be reminded of, but also feel part of. But I want to start with what we mean by be extraordinary, because you might remember me saying it before. Being extraordinary isn't about being the best at everything. Of course it's not. No one can be the best at everything that they do. Be extraordinary is about being the best version of yourself in every situation. It's also about what we offer as a school. So I've spent time sitting down with some of your teachers this year to talk about what subjects we offer. And those of you in Year 9 will know, for example, that we've introduced engineering as an option in GCSE at Key Stage 4. In Key Stage 5 for next year, students in Year 11 who will come back to us into our sixth form might be able to study criminology, for example. We've introduced a range of new courses throughout the school. Year 7 and 8 students next year will be able to have 2 hours of outdoor education on their timetables. All of these things make us extraordinary because other schools don't offer them. Other schools don't offer outdoor education. A lot of other schools don't offer engineering at Key Stage 4. A lot of other schools don't offer criminology at sixth form. And all of these decisions that we make are framed around this be extraordinary. What will make us different? What will make us stand out? What will make us unique as a school? But be extraordinary also means something for you as individual students. Because I know that your characters, your personalities are so important. And there are lots of schools up and down the country that try and make their students all the same, like identical robots. They have to have really strict hair policy. They have to look a certain way, act a certain way, talk a certain way. What I want is for us to be an inclusive school where actually the full range of your personalities, your interests, your characters are proudly on display. And you'll know this year that we introduced our Inclusivity Pledge, that we have an inclusivity team that reviews all aspects of the school to see if we can be more inclusive. But I want you to feel free to be yourselves, to have the confidence to be yourself, because that's what being extraordinary is. It's about having the confidence to be you, to be the authentic, genuine you, not to try and fit in with other people, not to bow to peer pressure, not to go along with what other people are doing, but to be you and to be the best version of yourself. And finally, when it comes to being extraordinary, it's about this culture that we want to install here, about being a family. There's 1,600 students in this school, 200 plus staff. It's a lot of people in a small area. And actually, we want everyone to feel as though they belong, and everyone to feel as if they're cared for and they're supported, whatever is going on in their lives. That's what will make us extraordinary. And a couple of examples I want to talk to you about today. One of them is the hair policy at King Henry School, because in the past there was quite a stringent hair policy here. And actually what you may have noticed in the contact books, but also since the start of the year, is that I am very relaxed around hair, because I think actually how you choose to have your hair in terms of the colour, the layout, the design, etc., reflects your personality and your character. But what I do want to do is make sure we've got that really clearly written down somewhere, so that parents and students and staff all know what our approach is to hair policy. And actually what I want it to be is something that's really quite exciting and creative, and that you're part of. So we're going to send a survey out to all students to get your thoughts on what should be in our new hair policy on paper, that we can then share with all your families. But again, will be something that makes us different from a lot of other schools. It will make us extraordinary. I also want to talk to you about uniform, because uniform is really important. And the reason that we believe in uniform here is because there's an equality to uniform. Actually, it doesn't matter how much money you've got, it doesn't matter what designer clothes you've got or haven't got, etc. Everyone, when they walk through the gates, is smart, and everyone is consistent and equal because they wear the same uniform. Now, I know that over lockdown, there will be some of you for whom you've had you've got taller, or you've outgrown your clothes, etc. We've all had that problem. We haven't been able to go to the shops and get new ones. So this week we've been quite flexible around that, just trying to make sure you get back into the swing of school. But we do need to make sure that the uniform here is something we're really proud of, and that is really consistent, so it's fair for all students in all year groups. So some reminders on uniform as well, that PE kits must be King Henry School PE kits. If we want that to continue, if we want that flexibility of turning up for the day in your PE kit, then it needs to be the King Henry one. And unless you're in PE, no trainers are to be worn. And hoodies and jumpers, I know it's cold, but you can wear coats, but you don't bring hoodies into the school building. If you're wearing them to school, that's fine, put them in your bags, but you don't wear them through the buildings in our school. So I want to talk to you about the link. You'll know the link, the area at the end of the English corridor before you go into science. It's that covered area outside, and it's an area that looks a bit depressing and has done for many years here at this school, and when it was the Erith School as well. One of the exciting things that we've got coming up that I want to share with you is that we've commissioned some artists who are going to come in to spray paint all of the walls in the link in the different colours of our 5 houses and around the theme of being extraordinary. And that whole area is going to become a really quite creative and dynamic space for us to use throughout the year for different events, but also just making us a bit more proud of the buildings and the school site that we're part of. So look out for the paint beginning to go up on the walls of the link in the next few weeks and months. It's also this week British Science Week, and a big thank you to the science department, who, despite all of the conditions of social distancing and just school coming back after lockdown, have tried really hard to make sure that we're still celebrating Science Week this week, and that you've got opportunities to explore things in science. All of you have received the information about British Science Week on your King Henry emails and home, and there's a competition that is still live. If you have taken part in British Science Week, please do send your entry to the Headteacher competition at kinghenry.org.uk email address. And if you are carrying out any of those experiments from home, just remember to be safe as you do so. Brings me on to the next bit that I want to share with you, which is outdoor education. You've heard me talk about this a little bit before. Outdoor education, you might have seen in the garden in the centre of the school, in the quad area, quite a lot of work beginning to take place out there. Mr. Martin, who was head of DT and Food Tech, is now our head of outdoor education, and he's working really hard as we look forward to launching this. There will be a huge amount of activity going on around this. For year 7 and 8 next year, it will be a timetabled lesson. For other year groups, there will be opportunities when it comes to extracurricular, but also in terms of Duke of Edinburgh, that I'm going to talk about in a moment as well. And there are lots of different spaces in the school that are going to be used for outdoor education. And why are we doing this? Well, outdoor education is going to connect our students to the outside world. It's going to raise in all of us a conscious consciousness about the environment and our impact on the environment and what we can do as a school to reduce any negative impact that we have on our environment. And it's also going to make sure that students in this school have the opportunity in lessons or in extracurricular to do some survival skills and to build up some bushcraft skills as well. Some really exciting opportunities there. We're also hoping to have free-range chickens and bees in the garden area as well, in addition to our therapy dog Gus that we've introduced this year too. So really exciting for you to continue to monitor and hopefully get involved in. One aspect to get involved in is, of course, Duke of Edinburgh, that you might have heard of before. It's something that we are launching again at the school, and I'm going to play a short video.
Hey, I'm Elle, and you lot sat there and basically me a couple of years ago. I've just finished my goals, but when I first started my bronze, I had no idea what to expect. Back then, I didn't know how it all worked, but I reckon I could do a good job of telling you now, so here goes. So for your bronze award, you have to choose an activity in each of the 4 sections: physical, skills, volunteering, and then your expedition. You might already be doing an activity that counts, or you can choose to try something new. For my physical, I chose to improve my rowing, but you can choose from a whole load of other activities like these guys. I'm zero. We played badminton. I played football. Anyway, then you get to volunteer. There's so many ways you can make a difference here, and you'll get to meet some incredible people. And then for my skill, I joined my skills to basic club. You can pretty much do any skill you want, if your leader approves. My mates ended up doing all sorts, like acting, learning Latin, singing, and you get to do a really fun 2-day expedition, exploring some amazing scenery like this.
So Duke of Edinburgh is something we're relaunching within the school as part of outdoor education, and Year 8 students, current Year 8 students, will know that we have launched it and started to recruit you guys to take part in the bronze from September. There's a bronze, silver, gold award for Duke of Edinburgh, and Year 8 students have had lots of information on this as well. And if you do sign up Year 8 students, you will spend time in Year 9 volunteering, developing a skill and a physical activity, as well as leading that 2-day camping expedition on your own. So it's a great opportunity. And for those of you in Year 8, if you've not signed up yet, places are limited. It will be first come, first serve, and you can get in touch with Mr. Martin if you are keen to find out more. So folks, that brings us to the end of the assembly. The purpose of it was to welcome you back and to say how pleased we are to have you back in our school. But it's also a reminder that despite lockdown, despite COVID, despite not being able to have physical assemblies this year, despite not being able to run extracurricular clubs this year, we are still working hard to improve our school, and the improvements are incredible. And I want you to be part of them. So whether it's responding to the survey about the hair policy, so that we have a hair policy that our students have created, whether it's about joining Duke of Edinburgh, participating in outdoor education, entering Science Week competitions, whatever it is, there's opportunities for you to thrive even in the first couple of days of us coming back as a school community. So this is a school that is moving forwards, that isn't waiting, that isn't staying put, that isn't being delayed by COVID. We will continue to work hard to improve it, so it's a school that you can be truly proud to be part of. Folks, have a lovely weekend when it comes, and I look forward to seeing you next week as we continue this journey together. Take care. Bye-bye.